Welcome back to the Podcast Playground. Our newest podcast is The Best Podcast.
Join Jay Carter and Mivita Best on The Best Podcast, where the dynamic duo brings you their insider secrets to everything wonderful. Now Jay and me dive deep into the top 5 everything, from the latest cell phones to affordable wines that won't break the bank.
So tell a friend, you've found the best podcast,
where every recommendation is a gem waiting to be uncovered. Tune in weekly for your dose of excellence.
Welcome back. It is February 2026, and if you're listening to this, you're probably, you're keenly aware that the whole landscape of work has just completely shifted.
It really has.
I mean, artificial intelligence, it isn't a novelty anymore. It's the default setting. It's how we write, it's how we code, how we design.
How we argue with strangers on the internet.
And definitely that. But here's the problem we're trying to tackle today. It's the noise. There's too much of it.
It is completely overwhelming. I was reading through our source material for this dive.
Yeah.
And it was this massive review from Zapier on the state of the industry.
Right.
And the author had this fantastic line. She said that trying to test every AI tool right now feels like trying to, and I'm quoting here, count the glitter particles left over after a kindergarten art project.
Oh, that is painfully accurate. I feel like I'm constantly finding glitter in my hair. Or, subscriptions on my credit card statement for apps I used once.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the trap. So our mission today really is to sweep up the glitter. We've gone through reviews of over 50 distinct AI apps to find the absolute Big 5.
The category leaders for 2026.
Yes.
And we're not just, listing them, we're organizing them by the role they'd play on your team. We've got the generalist, the analyst,
The researcher, the artist, and the office assistant.
And you should definitely stick around because after we break down these 5 tools, we're going to talk about maybe the most important concept for 2026. It isn't about the tools, it's about how they connect.
It's called orchestration. Because, having 5 great geniuses in a room is pretty useless if they refuse to talk to each other.
Okay, let's jump in. Category number 1, the generalist. And looking at the sources, it seems the king has not been dethroned.
No, it hasn't. ChatGPT is still the industry gold standard. It's the first port of call for just about everything.
And we're talking about GPT 5.1 now, right?
That's right. And I think it's important to define why it's still on top. It's not necessarily that it's the absolute best at every single little niche task.
Okay.
It's that it has the highest floor. It's the Swiss Army knife. You need creative writing, complex problem solving, just bouncing ideas around.
Yeah.
It's the most versatile thing in the shed.
One thing the sources highlighted that I found really interesting was this idea of auto-regression. It sounds super technical, but it actually explains why ChatGPT feels so much smarter now. Can we unpack that?
Yeah. This is a really important shift.
Yeah.
So auto-regression in this context is basically the model thinking things through as it writes.
Okay.
In the past, think back to GPT 3 or 4, the AI would just spit out an answer as fast as it could. It was like an improv actor.
Just saying the first thing that came to mind.
Exactly. And sometimes that improv was really confident, but just completely wrong.
Yes.
Now, with GPT 5.1, it uses this autoregressive process to boost accuracy. It's effectively trading a little bit of speed, and we're talking milliseconds here, for a lot more control.
It's like the AI version of taking a deep breath and checking your logic before you speak.
That's a great way to put it. And speaking of control, the responsiveness to feedback is a huge selling point now. The source mentioned that if you ask it to tweak one specific element, it usually nails it on the first try.
Which is a massive upgrade. I remember with the old models, you'd almost have to fight with the bot. You'd say, make it shorter, and it would rewrite the whole thing and change the meaning.
Oh, totally. Now it just gets the nuance of the edit. It's simple. There aren't any complex sliders or settings. It just works.
So that's the generalist. It's the tool you keep in your pocket. But sometimes you don't need a Swiss Army knife. Sometimes you need a scalpel.
Mm-hmm.
And that brings us to our second category, the analyst. This is where Claude comes in.
Claude from Anthropic. Right. So if ChatGPT is your smart, chatty friend who knows a bit about everything, Claude is more like your thoughtful, deep-thinking research partner.
And the sources say it has a more human-like writing style.
It does, but honestly, the writing style isn't the main event anymore.
No, the main event is the interface. The sources just kept mentioning artifacts.
Yes, artifacts. This just fundamentally changes the UI of a chatbot.
Okay, let's unpack that. Because for so long, the chat interface was just this, scrolling wall of text.
Right. So imagine you're chatting with the AI. Usually the code or text just vanishes up the screen. It's ephemeral. With artifacts, when you ask Claude to build something substantial, like a piece of software or a long document,
Okay.
it opens a separate window on the right side of the screen.
So I'm prompting on the left, and the project actually lives on the right.
Exactly. And it's not just static text. It can code an interactive interface in that side window. You can see the work taking shape while you continue to refine it in the chat. It separates the discussion from the deliverable.
That sounds perfect for what, Cal Newport would call deep work.
That is the ideal use case. Analyzing long reports, reviewing contracts, writing clean code. Claude handles a massive context window. It can remember much more of a document, better than the others.
Why does that context window matter so much for an analyst role?
Well, think about it like this. If you give an AI a 100-page legal contract, a model with a small context window might only see the last 10 pages by the time you ask a question.
Oh, right.
Claude sees the whole thing at once. So if you need to find a contradiction or rewrite a section without breaking something on page 2, you go to Claude.
All right, so we have the generalist for everyday stuff and the analyst for the deep dives. But what if I just want to know the answer to something without wading through all the SEO, spam, and recipe blogs?
Wow, yes.
That brings us to number 3, the researcher.
Perplexity.
I love perplexity. But let me play devil's advocate for a second. ChatGPT has web browsing. Google has AI overviews. Why is perplexity specifically on this list?
It comes down to one word: hallucinations.
The AI just lying to you with total confidence.
Right. Traditional LLMs are designed to predict the next word, not necessarily to tell the truth. They act like they know everything, even when they don't. Perplexity is built differently. It's an answer engine, not just a chatbot.
It's pulling from Google and Bing.
Yeah, it combines their ranking signals with its own tech to give you a direct answer.
Yeah.
But the key thing, the thing you mentioned,
The citations, that little number at the end of the sentence.
that is the safety net. Every single claim it makes is backed up by a citation. You can click to see the real-time web source. It grounds the AI in reality. If ChatGPT is an improviser, Perplexity is a librarian.
And for the learner listening right now, this seems like the ultimate tool.
It is. The sources say Perplexity is incredible at staying on topic during follow-up questions.
Yeah.
You can go down a rabbit hole, and it just remembers the context perfectly. It's the tool to use alongside Google when you need synthesis, not just a list of blue links.
Okay, moving on to number 4. We've covered text, code, research. Now for the fun stuff. Visuals. The artist.
Midjourney.
Now, I know ChatGPT has DALL-E built in. We just said it's the Swiss Army knife. So why do we need a separate tool for images?
It's the difference between a sketch and a masterpiece. ChatGPT is great for a quick diagram. It's something where you just need the concept.
Yeah.
But Midjourney is just widely considered the highest quality generator when it comes to artistic detail and lighting and texture.
It's the vibe tool.
It really is. It's an opinionated model. It just wants things to look good. And the updates in 2026 have been huge. For so long, it was trapped inside Discord.
Oh, I remember that. It felt like you were hacking into a mainframe just to get a picture of a cat in a spacesuit.
Exactly. Typing /commands in a chat room full of strangers. Now it has a dedicated, sleek browser interface. It's finally accessible.
And the output, is it still top tier?
The source describes it as mind-blowing. It can evoke genuine emotion. There is a caveat, though.
Uh-oh.
The expert in the source warns that because it's so creative, it can occasionally be nightmare-inducing if your prompt is off.
Too many fingers.
Too many fingers, weird textures, that sort of thing. It's high risk, high reward.
So ChatGPT for a clean corporate slide, Midjourney when you need actual art.
Exactly. Something that stops people scrolling.
All right, number 5. We've had the fun stuff. Now we get to work. The productivity powerhouse. This one is for the corporate user.
Microsoft Copilot.
I feel like a lot of people groan when they hear Microsoft, but if you're in that ecosystem, you can't really ignore this.
You can't. And that's the whole selling point. It's not a separate app you have to open. It lives inside Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, where millions of people spend their entire day. It removes the friction.
And with Outlook specifically, there's a feature called coaching that caught my eye. This isn't just write this email for me, is it?
No, and this is where AI shifts from being a tool to being more of a mentor. Coaching by Copilot doesn't just write. It analyzes your tone and your structure.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it'll effectively say, hey, you sound a little aggressive here, or this explanation is convoluted, maybe try this instead.
So it's an empathy check.
Basically, It helps you communicate better, not just faster. And for those email chains that are, 3 weeks long with 20 people on them,
My nightmare.
Copilot can summarize the entire thread and give you links to jump to the specific messages that matter.
Okay, that alone is worth the price of admission for anyone in middle management.
It really is. It just cuts through the noise.
Okay, so those are the big five. ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Midjourney, and Copilot. And you could stop there and be very, very productive.
You could, but you would be hitting a ceiling.
And this is where it gets really interesting. This is the shift from just using tools to orchestration.
Right. This is the pivot. We are in the era of orchestration. The source highlights this staggering statistic. 78% of enterprises are struggling to integrate AI with their current tech stack.
So they have all these great tools.
But they're all in silos.
So I have Claude in one tab, ChatGPT in another, my email in a third, and I'm just copy-pasting between them like a maniac. I'm the glue.
Exactly. And that is so inefficient. You are doing the grunt work of moving data. Orchestration connects these brains together, and the tool the source focuses on for this is Zapier.
Zapier isn't new, but its role seems to have really changed.
It's evolved from just moving data to managing intelligence. Think of it as the nervous system connecting all the muscles.
Okay, give me an example. What does this look like in practice?
All right, let's take a sales lead. New lead comes in from your website. The old way. You get an email, you read it, you Google the company.
The usual.
The orchestrated way. A workflow triggers automatically. Zapier sends the company name to Perplexity to research their recent news. Then, it sends that research to ChatGPT to summarize it and draft a personalized outreach email. And finally, it notifies you in Slack with a summary and the draft ready to go.
So I didn't do anything until the final step.
0 clicks. You just review the output and hit send. And it goes even further with something they call Zapier agents.
Agents is a buzzword I hear a lot. What does it mean here?
It's like an intelligent, self-directed teammate. A normal automation is like a train on a track. If this, then that. An agent can handle multi-step actions. It can make decisions. You give it a goal, like manage my inbox, and it works across all your apps to get it done.
That's wild. It's like hiring a digital intern who works 24/7.
And doesn't drink all the coffee in the break room.
True. Okay, before we wrap up, we have to do a rapid fire round. The sources listed over 50 apps, and there were some specialists that deserve a shout out.
Let's do it.
First up, presentations. I hate making slides.
Then you need Gamma. You type a prompt. It builds the entire slide deck. Text, layout, images, everything. No more fighting with text boxes.
Next, video. What can we actually use?
Runway. Specifically the Gen 4 model. It's a video magic wand. You can literally paint on a frame to change it. Also Google VO3 for cinematic shots, but the source does warn it can slip into that uncanny valley.
Spooky. Okay, last one, a term I hadn't heard before. Vibe coding.
Yes, vibe coding. This is for the non-coders. Tools like Lovable or Bolt.
What does that even mean?
It means you just describe the vibe of the software you want.
Yeah.
You don't write code, you write intent. You say, I want a habit tracker that feels like a retro 80s arcade game, and it just builds it.
That is incredible. The barrier to entry for creating anything is just lower than ever.
It really is. If you can imagine it, you can build it.
But, and there's always a but, that ease of use brings us to the big warning.
The warning. The source explicitly warns against creating an AI tools graveyard.
I am so guilty of that.
We all are. It's so easy to subscribe to 10 things and then never use them again. The advice is to start with the problem, not the tool. Don't say, how can I use ChatGPT today? Say, I hate writing meeting summaries. What solves that? Exactly. Let the pain point dictate the solution. Don't buy a hammer and then walk around looking for nails.
That makes sense. And that leads to a final sort of provocative thought for you to mull over. We're calling it the AI-powered you.
So here's a question. Are you spending your time doing the work? Or are you just managing the prompts?
It's a subtle trap. You can feel really productive because you're generating all this text and all these images, but are you actually creating value?
Or are you just shifting glitter around?
The goal is to let the AI handle the glitter particles, the tedious stuff, the summarizing, the drafting, so you can focus on the masterpiece.
Precisely. Use the generalist, the analyst, the researcher. Orchestrate them. But remember that you are still the director of this movie.
Yeah.
The AI is just the crew.
I love that. Okay, so here's your challenge for the week. Don't go download all 5 of these, just pick one. Try Perplexity for your next research rabbit hole. Use Gamma for that presentation you're dreading.
Just one.
Just pick one, try it, and see if it clears a little bit of the glitter off your desk.
Sounds like a plan.
We'll catch you next time.